Home prices up 6%. It is time for your February Denver housing market update. Hey everybody, it's Alyson with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. The new year kicked off with a bang where the market was concerned. Let's see what the numbers tell us. We saw 3,100 homes go under contract in January. That is up 800 homes from the month before and a 34% increase. Compared to last year, we're up 4.5% as well. Only 2,000 homes closed in January, 500 fewer than the month before, bringing us down 21% from the end of the year in 2023 and down 1.5% from the year before. Now, we had 3,250 new listings in January, up 1,650. So we doubled our new listings to start the year. And compared to where we started the year in 2023, we were also up 17%. Now we finished January with 4,450 homes for sale, which helped us increase inventory to 2.25 months of inventory, which is higher than where we ended last year. We ended the year with 1.83 months of inventory, so we did see a boost. The average and median days on market tells us that boost was not really due to new inventory that got gobbled up. It's really due to lingering inventory. The average days on market in January still increased. We went to 49 average days on market, up from 46 the month before. And the median days increased as well, going from 30 to 36. As you can tell, both of those numbers are larger than the days we have in a month, which means a lot of that inventory was carrying over from the year before, stuff that wasn't selling. Okay, let's look at those January home prices. The average closed price for all homes last month was $654,000. That's up just $3,000 from the month before. That only moves us 0.5% from the previous month, but compared to last year, we're up 6% year over year to start 2024. The single family home price average is $732,000, also up $3,000 from the month before. Again, year over year, we're up 6% from where we started 2023. Condos and townhomes did not see an increase. The average price there is $462,000. They're down $4,000 month over month, almost a 1% decrease. Now, year over year, they're still positive, a 4.5% boost from where we started the year last year. Now, in the big picture, home prices are up more than 40% from where we were this time 4 years ago, right before we dropped into the era of COVID. All right, over to those median home prices. The median price for all homes sold is $565,000, up $15,000 from the previous month. That's a 3% change month over month and also up 6% from this time last year. The median single family home price is $625,000. That's a $17,000 increase month over month. Again, we're looking at a 3% change month over month and a 6% increase from this time last year. It's the same story for condos and townhomes over here, where they have lost value month over month. We are down $21,000 month over month for condos and townhomes for a median price of $389,000. So while we're barely changed from this time last year, we're 5% off the mark from where we were last month. The list price to sales price ratio is ticking upward, proof that January did really come out of the gates with a little bit of a boost. We ended the year at 95.7% on a list price to sales price ratio, and by the end of January, we were already at 96.1. All right, what are some takeaways? Well, we are up year over year. That tells us that despite how people have felt about the market and what we saw for declines over the last 6 months of 2023, we really have still had a very strong market. Prices have held, sellers have held strong, and with the low inventory that we had, there's just really not been a big softening in the market. And now that we have seen rates come off of their high that we had in October of 2023, we really expect that we're going to see the market pick back up, particularly in our strong buying season that comes March, April, May, and into June. What I do see that is good news is that while we are already seeing a kickstart and a jumpstart, we had that softening of rates in the early part of January, and we had a lot of strong activity. What I didn't see was a huge shift in average home price. So just a $3,000 change in average home price tells me that while we had a lot of push and activity and demand, we didn't see big movement in the average home price. I'm encouraged by that because I don't want to see the market taking off incredibly early this year. It puts so much strain on the buyers, and actually it does on the sellers too. Sellers get excited, they like a frenzied market, but sellers are also buyers typically, and so it can actually lock up the market sometimes, particularly because right now rates are still not where everybody prefers. We're not getting close to 5 yet. So I'm actually really thrilled to see that the average price held steady and that we didn't see this huge uptick. All right, let's talk more about that nice strong start we had at the beginning of January. The rates had come down a little bit. The market was very strong, aggressive. Even folks who were cash buyers were in competitive offer situations. I had a couple clients who were full cash buyers. We're not talking investors. We're talking folks who were looking for their own property, had sold everything, had all the cash. And even when they were going out and putting in offers, they weren't just winning them hands down and easily. Now, granted, it's not like they loved every house and were being super aggressive on each and every offer, but literally we were going in with these cash offers and there would be several other cash offers on the table. In one situation, there was a house that was wonderful. I mean, it was this large acreage and yet in walking distance to downtown Arvada. So you had the historic downtown, you could put on ADU on it. There were a lot of cool features. Someone bid $100,000 over list. That was far outside market value. Now, the seller actually didn't take that one. They were mad because those people trespassed on the property and were caught on camera. So buyers, behave yourselves. But I mean, the market was really wild at the beginning of January, but then rates ticked up a little bit. Everybody saw it. My inspectors talked about how they were crazy busy the first couple weeks of January and then it slowed down. Other agents talked about how busy things were. Open houses were crazy busy. Offers were wild. As soon as rates went from the low and just went up a little bit, things quieted down. I share that because as much as I talk about in these videos and on calls and consultations and with buyers here in town about getting in ahead of rate shifts, I still sometimes get naysayers and they say, it's not going to happen. The rates aren't going to move that much. I tell you, it does not take much for the activity to go gangbusters. So if you have the opportunity to get in now, get in ahead of the craziness, to get in ahead of the peak buying season and find a house that works for you, that you like, that you love, I would say do it. Because I think we're going to see in this spring what happened the last 2 springs, where in that March, April, May, the market's going to get really aggressive. And we still don't have enough inventory. We just do not. That lack of inventory is keeping sellers kind of digging in their heels a little bit, feeling confident and strong. That means while there are deals to be had, remember I talked about how long the days on market were? That means we have houses sitting from last year. So there are sellers with motivation. There are opportunities to get in and get what you want, buyers. For the most part, we're seeing sellers with the mindset of, I can wait. The market's going to pick back up. Or I can pull it off the market for 45 days. It'll reset my time clock and I can wait for the peak season. I don't need your aggressive offer, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer. So don't come at me with a long list of inspection objections. Don't come at me with a cutthroat offer slicing 50 or 75 grand off the list price. Now, to be fair, there are a lot of overpriced houses out there, but the mindset of many sellers is, I know there's not enough inventory. I know peak season is coming. If you want my house, take it now. So really understand the dance of what is going on, because coming in with really aggressive, hardcore negotiations is not cutting it and is sometimes offensive and puts the wall up and you can't even go after that house anymore. It's a really interesting time right now. You have to understand the mindset of the other seller and the agent, and hopefully you can get in with your agent and their agent and understand. Now, all of that may change because the new inflation report came out and there's a lot of conjecture that rates are actually going to go up a little bit rather than stay flat or even come down. If that happens and the market softens in a way that we aren't expecting, then sellers may soften up and go back a little bit. That would be a pretty abnormal. If you've seen my video where I talk about the cycles in the market, the peak buying season, the peak selling season, when you get the most inventory, when you get the best price as a seller, consistently, all the way back to the recession 2008 to 2011, we see price increases in the spring no matter what. Now, how much you get a price increase varies based on the market, but March, April, May, we always see a price increase. It does not matter what is going on. So I'm expecting that even if rates go up a little bit, we are still going to see that gangbusters push where people are moving across the country because it's the time to do it before schools start, shift, you can get your kids registered, etc. Sellers, if you are not already preparing to have your home on the market for the peak selling season, yet you're thinking of selling this year, you're a little behind the 8 ball, but you have time. Get with your trusted advisor, start talking through the steps, make a plan. There is a lot to do for many homes to really set the stage for your first fantastic impression. All right, that's a wrap on the February market update. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you want to talk in more detail about the market, selling your home in this market, or landing one here in Denver, please reach out. You know, I always love to connect, and I will see y'all next week.